All businesses and management require a range of information. We concentrate frequently on sport, leisure and cultural activities, but we do other research for the economy for the North West and so on. A lot of it's basically about knowing where you've come from, where you are and where you want to get to. It's typical strategic planning. And it's simplest. It means understanding the business, the market, the drivers for it and the factors that are going to affect change. And we provide support across all of those areas. One of the main things we do that underpins all of our projects is research, data analysis and mapping and interviews with people, consultation. So if we look at the work ranging across analysis of your own data, so we add value to clients' data, whether that's an existing leisure service, libraries, regional and local health trust data, for example. We place that in a context nationally, looking at data sets that are held by the Office for National Statistics, crime data, health data, and we also look at segmentation, which is the characteristics of the typical person who will play badminton as opposed to rugby, as opposed to somebody who'll shop at John Lewis, as opposed to somebody who'll shop at Asda or whatever. Marketing and businesses use those profiles a great deal, and we add new data through online surveys, paper-based surveys, interviews, focus groups, and a range of other data techniques to gather information.
You mentioned contextual data as well, and it's interesting, I think you've highlighted there are some trends, important trends there for all sorts of organisations to be aware of, which you can help them understand. Yeah,
there are significant changes in the population of the country that are going to take place in the coming years. Right now, ironically, we're building lots of secondary schools, but between 2010 and 2020, the government's own projections show significant decline right the way across the country within the 14 to 25 year age group. That's the primary age group for secondary education, university education and participation in sports and lots of leisure activities. So we've been doing quite a bit of work with some of the national governing bodies to actually show them just the scale and extent of that throughout the country. Equally, at the other end, the thing everyone has heard of is the pensions time bomb. So there's massive increase in proportional terms in the number of pensioners throughout the country. We can use that data and segmentation data, which is, as I say, the characteristics of people who take part in activities, to review your services and the way you're going to react to that change over the next 5 to 10 years, so that you actually understand the direction your business needs to go in to increase its market share or participation, or develop new products that are going to be more attractive to some of those different groups of clients that you're going to have. All of our data we sign off and we take from people, we sign client confidentiality agreements. So if we take data and we cleanse it, it may have records that are personal. If we do, we immediately remove those. We always adhere to the fact that we only hold data on behalf of a client for a period of time and then we destroy it afterwards. But what we do in doing data cleansing and data vetting for agencies is we will look at typically records that have been entered incorrectly through spelling mistakes or not using drop-down menus to enter characteristics. So there'll be 5 spellings of something. That goes in as 5 different types of record for a person or a sport. We just clean those processes up, advise them on how to gather the data, and it moves the data from just being numbers into being intelligence.
And what sort of response have we had in the past with the various organisations who've been presented with these sort of solutions that they no doubt have found it beneficial and positive?
A number of them have taken up the opportunity to review their CRM systems, customer relationship management, their databases, and have brought in new systems to improve the data that they hold. Our general recommendation is not to hold lots of different fields on people, on your members, but to hold very little, but to make sure it's very high quality data. and then you can build on that as the foundation moving forward. So we've done that for primary care trusts, for the health, for national governing bodies, whether that's netball, archery, the FA, whether we've done that in relation to Sport Wales, their natural facilities database. So we do this with a wide range of people. We use geographic information systems, which basically take the data and they cut through the numbers to actually see what it means in reality on the ground. So we're able to map the distribution of people who take part in a sport, or therefore to identify the areas that sports aren't reaching or where the health authority isn't getting to, and to identify gaps in provision of services. So we will map participation alongside facilities and alongside the index of deprivation to see the parts of the country that we're not reaching. And that then should help develop strategies that are about inclusion.
Overall, you would say that this type of management information and insight can be very, very important and very helpful to all sorts of organisations in all sorts of situations.
It should be fundamental to the way you run your business. You do it in everyday life. It's only bringing the things that you do as a matter of course in everyday life, so that if you were going to buy a new video or a new DVD player or whatever, you will go out and look at what's available. You'll assess the prices, the quality, and you will choose where to buy it from that's most advantageous for you. You're doing the same sort of things with data, and you're choosing the best quality data to make the best decision. It gets past worrying about numbers and gets into making decisions based on information.